Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Thrassa. Wait a second. No, that's the wrong one. So today's deck tech is going to be, of course, Thrassa, God of the Sea. This is my partner Hayden's deck. Alright, so you're probably wondering what their deck is doing if we're giving somebody else's deck a bit of a run. This is a sea deck. This is very much a sea-themed deck. It basically just plays big blue creatures and then it uses Thrassa to push through damage on your opponents. I'm not kidding. We'll go through some of the sea-themed creatures first. So it's all squid and Eldrazi kind of sea creatures and starfish and stuff. So we've got Sigiled Starfish because it allows us to scry. We've got Deep Sea Kraken, which is a big suspendy Kraken that when your opponents play spells, you get to remove suspend counters off it. It's expensive. Vexing Scuttler. This is again an Eldrazi crab, so it's pretty cool. You can return target instant or sorcery card from graveyard to your hand, so you can get back like Cyclonic Rift or, I don't know, maybe Rite of Replication. Why would we want to do that? We'll get to that later. We got Nezahal, the Primal Tide, or Primal Tide I should say. Legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur, but as you can see it's swimming. It's a water dinosaur, so this is included absolutely. It can't be countered. You've no maximum hand size, and whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, we can draw a card, we can discard 3 cards, exile it, and then return it to the battlefield tapped at the beginning of the next end step, so it protects itself. We've got Mesmerizing Benthid, which is just stupid octopus that creates squids, right? Illusion tokens. Same thing. I'm thinking of the other one. Doesn't matter. Yep. Aether Squall Ancient, which is a massive Leviathan. Look up Leviathans, people. Kraken Hatchling. Yeah, it's a 0/4. It's just because it's a Kraken Hatchling. It's a Kraken. At least the 0/4 Kraken. Drownhead Behemoth, which is Flash, which is pretty cool for a 5/7. Has a merge and has hexproof as long as it enters the battlefield this turn, so it can be played out a little bit quicker. We got Guard Gamazoa. Oh god, it's a jellyfish. Yep. We got Reef Worm that when it dies it becomes fish, and then when that dies it becomes a whale, and when that dies it becomes a Kraken. We've got Grozoth, which is another big Leviathan. This is a defender. When it comes to play, you can search your library for any number of cards that have a converted mana cost of 9, which there is a lot in this deck. Reveal them, put them in your hand. If you do shuffle your library, you can make it lose defender for 4, and it has Transmute, so pretty cool for a 9/9. That's a big boy. Slipstream Eel just does cycling. Yep, can't attack unless your opponent has islands. It's just really overcosted fish beast. Another Kraken, a Storm Surge Kraken. This is has Lieutenant and Hexproof. Not bad for 5/5. Chasm Skulker, of course, because when it dies, it creates little squiddies. So it's a squid horror that creates squids. Yeah. Long-finned Sky Whale. 4 mana for a whale. This is a 4/3 flyer. It can only block creatures with flying. We have Deep Fathom Skulker. This is an Eldrazi, but as you can see, Deep Fathom Skulker, so it's in the water. It is, technically speaking, part of this deck because it's water-themed. Yep. Deep Glow Skate, of course, is a fish. I don't even know. I've looked through this deck, and there's not really any counter-type things in this deck that put counters on, so that's fine. Mana War, of course, 3 mana for a jellyfish that bounces target creature to its owner's hand. We've got Capture Kite Fins. These are fish flying. Whenever Capture Kite Fins or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. Really expensive for a 3/3 flyer, let's be honest. Mole Drifter. It's a flying fishy elemental. It's still a fish. Drowner of Hope, because drowning things, I guess. That's fine. And Scions. Alright, so now that you've got a bit of the theme, what are some of the neat things this deck, or what is some of the neat things this deck can do. So first off, we have Shipbreaker Kraken. Monstrosity 4 for 8 mana, 2 blue and 6 colors for Kraken 6/6. When the Shipbreaker Kraken, I don't know why I keep saying Stormbreaker. Isn't that like Thor's new weapon, Stormbreaker? When it becomes monstrous, tap up to 4 target creatures and they don't untap, as long as you control the Kraken. We have Fleet Swallower. This is a massive fish. So whenever it attacks, target player puts the top half of their library rounded up into their graveyard. 6/6. We have Lorthos the Tide Maker. Legendary creature Octopus. When it attacks, you can pay 8, and if you do, tap up to 8 target permanents. Those permanents don't untap during their controller's next untap steps. So, pretty cool, kind of like Frost Titan-ish. Breaching Leviathan. This is a 9/9, of course. When Breaching Leviathan enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, tap all non-blue creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap steps. We have Scourge of Fleets. I think this was from... this particular foil came out of one of the starter decks from one of the starter decks. I think it's a Kraken. So when it enters the battlefield, return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. So I guess a shit Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, I saw you can get over it. Stormtide Leviathan. Island Walk 8/8. All lands are islands in addition to their other types. Creatures without flying or Island Walk can't attack. I'm just going to put this here for a second because we'll come back to it. We have Thing in the Ice. So Defender, when Thing in the Ice enters battlefield, enters with 4 ice counters. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, remove an ice counter from Thing in the Ice and then transform it from a horror. This is not double slave, I'm so sorry, you're going to hate me. To a Kraken horror, the Awoken Horror, which is a 7/8. When this creature transforms into the Awoken Horror, return all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands. So just like a bit more of the bouncy bounce to get stuff off the field, so that you can just like run through with your stupid Krakens. Floodtide Serpent. This is a serpent. Floodtide Serpent can't attack unless you return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. It's a 4/4. There's not many enchantments in here to do this with, so it's generally just a 4/4 defender for 5, which is horrible, but I'm not here to question Hayden's choices, because this deck kicked our ass and Christmas Eve. Kaiga the Tide Star, come on. This is a dragon spirit. Now, because it's called the Tide Star, that's why it's included. So it's flying, and when Kaiga dies, gain control of target creature. It's a 5/5. We're also going to put this down here for some reason. So onto more of the themed cards. We've got Treasure Cruise, because it's a cruise. Get it? It's hilarious. Drawn from Dreams because of the cute Japanese-looking carp. I'm pretty sure that they are supposed to be Japanese carp. Beautiful colours. It's actually quite a gorgeous card, and I'd love the full art of this on a playmat, to be honest. We have Thematic Compass, because it's a compass to help you find your way. Crush of Tentacles, which is pretty obvious because tentacles. The search cost is real, of course, but also return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If Crush of Tentacles search cost was paid, put an 8/8 blue octopus creature token onto the battlefield. Oh, yeah. So we got Tidal Wave because it's a sea deck. We have Mystic Remora because it has whales. Devastation Tide, because again, water tide, hilarious. Return all non-permanents to their owner's hands. Miracle, of course. We do have a Cyclonic Rift in here somewhere, or I might have taken it out from my deck, to be honest. Because Hayden doesn't have a copy of Cyclonic Rift, and I should probably actually buy them one. River's Rebuke, because River, it counts. And Quest for Ula's Temple is a very interesting one. So, 1 blue for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you can reveal it and put a quest counter on Quest for Ula's Temple. At the beginning of each end step, if there are 3 or more quest counters on Quest for Ula's Temple, you may put a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. What even is life when I get free Krakens, Leviathans, Serpents, etc. all the damn time. Now, you're probably wondering why we decided to separate those boys out. Well, that's because the way this deck actually wins is either through Thrassa just real slow or Rider Replication kicked. This kicked our asses on Christmas Eve. It sounds stupid, I know, but we didn't have board wipes remaining at that point. We just basically left the mono blue deck to its own devices because it's like not doing anything and it's playing like stupidly overcosted creatures and just sitting there and just doing nothing, just protecting itself. And then all of a sudden, Stormtide Leviathan gets copied. Yeah. 5 Stormtide Leviathans on the board, plus the original. That's going to kill any board, absolutely. So this is my partner Hayden's themed deck, themed around the sea. I want to call it SpongeBob SquarePants, but Hayden actually calls this deck RECHEESE the Kraken! I don't know why, it's pretty funny. So that's the deck. This has been the Deck Tech. I am Chesh. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Check out Inked Gaming for all of your gaming needs over at inkedgaming.com/CHESH. Chesh, that's me! I know, right? Check out my articles over on puremtgo.com and follow me at Twitter at Cheshire Plays. Have a great break. Happy New Year. We hit 700 bloody subscribers. So that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll try and work something out for that. I don't know. We'll see next week. If there is, there'll be a separate video on a something to do with Theros maybe. I do not know. We have some cool stuff coming up over at twitch.tv/Cheshire Plays Games, which we're working on a few things with a company that I'm not going to name yet, just in case it falls through. But hopefully that pans out, and that's going to be really cool. We'll see. Love your faces, you big beautiful geeks.